Howdy folks, July is here. Before we get any further, we're going to look at the trade block. We're going to look at kind of what this team needs and what are the areas of upgrade that we are going to be looking at this year's deadline. Looking at some of our team rankings, kind of where we're sitting at in terms of statistics throughout the league. Batting average, we're towards the bottom of the league. 24th, we were ranked more towards the middle in runs. Hits, we probably should be towards the bottom as well. 26th. Doubles, we are 23rd. Triples, we are 23rd as well. But home runs, we are still 6th. So we are a kind of an all-or-nothing offense. I would like to see that get evened out a little bit more. I obviously love the home runs. Obviously, it helps me play in the ballpark that we play in. However, I would like a little more offensive diversity from our team. We're not scoring too many runs, but we are driving in a decent chunk of them halfway there. We are not stealing any bases, I would assume. But we're not getting caught either. And we have a really good percentage on things. Walks, we're towards the very bottom of the league with the Braves. Strikeouts, I would love to see where we're ranked there. Kind of more towards the middle. So we're putting the ball in play a lot. Just maybe getting unlucky is what we're looking at. Slugging percentage, top half of the league. On base percentage, bottom third of the league. Let's see, what else are we looking at? Usually we're one of the better defensive teams, but this year fallen off a bit. Fielding percentage, we were top 5 in the last couple of years, now down to 13th. That is because of our friend Nolan Gorman over there at third base. Who knows? Pitching-wise, we're looking mostly in the bullpen, I think. 4.20, nice ERA, 9th in the league. Tied for the 4th most complete game. Shutouts didn't really care for. Saves, we are getting a lot of saves this year, and Roger Calderon, we'll get to him in a moment. Kind of faltering a little bit. Maybe we want someone else in the back end of that bullpen. My iPad fault. Just in case, because even though we're in the top 10 in saves, we're also in the bottom part of blown saves. So we are not keeping those leads very often. We're down here, the 4th worst team in the league in that. So we've had a lot more opportunities to close out games. So just imagine our record if half of these were converted and we were kind of up near here. Again, the rest of our pitching staff is fine. We're giving up hits, but we're not giving up runs. We're not giving up earned runs. We're not giving up home runs, which still blows my mind that we just don't give up home runs. We don't walk guys. We're striking out a whole bunch of guys. We're getting our pitching staff a lot of wins, which is fine. So that's kind of what we're looking for. Definitely looking for a more contact-oriented bat. We have enough home runs. Maybe a bench bat. See what we can do there, and definitely a minor upgrade there in the bullpen. That's what we're looking for. A lefty in the bullpen that can lock things down is what we're going to be going after. So let's check on a couple teams that might be able to give us those. We're looking for, I wanted to prioritize lefties and hitting with guys on base, someone that we can bring in off the bench potentially, also has some speed. These are kind of guys that fit all those molds. We have 3 guys we're looking at. Nick Gonzalez from the Pirates has not played really much this year. Lighting it up in AAA, 30 years old, has 3 more years of team control as well, if we so want to use that. Infield depth, righty bat that can add to that. Stone Garrett, another guy, outfielder, can also play first base with the Padres, so maybe a little less enticing to want to get him. Quick guy, does well with guys on base, mashes lefties. He's only had a little stint in the major leagues in the last 3 years, and also killing AAA. Also, Teoscar Hernandez, a guy that played in 130 games last year for Cleveland, a guy that is very familiar with us, and he kind of fits that profile. Good against lefties, can be good off the bench. Maybe we just go and sign him off to come and be our backup outfielder potentially. So those are just 3 guys we're looking at on the hitter side of things. So like I said, those are kind of the moves we're looking at, but we got to look at the actual game and why we're looking at these moves. And right now we have a Pretty big battle with the Chicago White Sox. We are down by 1 run, and Stephen Kwan's going to pop up, and we are not going to be able to take one from the Southsiders. Yeah, they are the Southsiders, or the Cubs are the Northsiders. So Velasquez drew a walk, got us in position to potentially take a big lead, but we squander that opportunity right there. Against the Brewers, we are in the top of the 8th inning. Brandon Barrera is on the hill. Bryce Terang stepping into the box. It is bases loaded. Terang's going to pop this one up on the bunt attempt, and Amador is there to squeeze it. So we get out of that jam alive. The bunt goes haywire, and we're able to get the final out before a run comes across to score. And just like that, Nolan Jones says, "See you later." Absolute laser beam. This one is crushed. How many feet was this one? 502 feet. Jesus. This guy is a problem. Nolan Jones, how you darn. Sports Center is going to show this one for sure. And in the clutch, too. 502 feet. That might be the longest home run we've seen. Yanquiel Fernandez kind of got fooled on the changeup there. He'll go down swinging, but what? Hey, you want to see Nolan Jones kill a man again? Here it is. Boom. That cow felt that swing again after getting killed to make the leather, and felt it again. So we have the lead now against the Brewers. The Brewers are pretty decent team, so it'll be nice to go out there and beat these guys, hopefully. And Calderon's going to come in, and let's see what he has for us. Again, he is easily the guy that we have at our closer, but he gives us some heart palpitations, that's for sure. A 3.74 ERA, and that's fine, but when you add to the fact that that was at like a 1-something just a month ago, you know that things are starting to really slip. And again, we are tied with the Brewers for the lead in the wild card. So this is a big game for us. Juan Soto will start us off. Actually, not start us off with a double. He'll get a double with 2 outs in the inning. Eric Brown Jr. add a little more speed to the base paths. Now against Jackson Churio, this one's popped up. This one's deep. Nolan Jones is back, and that will do it. So again, a little heart palpitation, just to remind you that you're alive and you're a human being, and that is going to do it for the outing there. We pick up a win against the Brewers, but then again, this next night on the 4th of July, Calderon is going to miss on the pitch there. I don't know where it missed, but Tyler Black will walk. Jefferson Cuero trying to break this game open. Grounder past Guerrero into left field. Montgomery comes up firing. The throw is not in time. And just like that, 2-run score for the Brewers, and they take the lead with 2 outs remaining. He got the ground ball he wanted, and that's what keeps me, is the thing that bothers me, or not doesn't bother me, but can't quite figure out. It's just some of it's on luck. Obviously, you don't want those guys on base to begin with, but he got the ground ball he needed, just didn't work out. So Nolan Gorman not having an MVP season, but still pretty respectable numbers. He's going to check in and get an at-bat here. He will swing on that Yohan Duran. I think he thought that was going to knock a rib off, so more defensive than anything. Nolan Jones, he will go swinging on the splinker from hell, as Pitching Ninja likes to call it. And Adele Amador trying to avoid the 1-2-3 inning. He can't. Sit him down. Uno, dos, tres in order. And the Brewers take this one. We stole a game from them. They steal a game from us. It all comes out in the wash. And just like that, again, we're still tied for that wild card lead, which is going to be very, very, very important. Now we're going to take a trip to the Futures game with Robert Cairo representing us. We have 2 representatives for our team here in the Futures game. Robert Cairo, we talked about him earlier this season and what we expect from him as one of our top prospects and how good he has been this year. And he's going to get on with a base knock to begin his days. He was the starting shortstop or starting DH for the National League squad. He gets on to begin day. Top position player prospects for us. He has a great bat. We talked about him in his prospect profile, so if you want a refresher or you missed that, go check that out. We kind of break down his skill set, what he's been doing in AA this year, where he has been. He's going to be really, really, really promising for us. 1 for 2 with a single so far in this game, as the National League taking it to the American League. Emmett Lolich, another guy that we have been looking at. This is going to be into right field and shallow enough that they're going to test it. And he's out. So double play. No RBI for Cairo there. They did try to test the runner there, but no good. Strikeout and a miss there as Cairo. He is down by way of the K. And his day so far as he gets plunked there. But 1 for 4 with a run. Stolen base. Struck out and got hit by that pitch. And who's this, you might ask? Oh, this is Emery Morales. Morales, a very similar profile to Cairo. Plays third base. Is a big contact guy whose fielding just needs to get into a better place before we really decide about what he's going to be for us in the future. But we are pretty excited for him, to say the least. I think he's someone that is 18 years old, has been doing great in single A, just trying to work on his defense, get that bat in the lineup every single day. I think that would be very good for him. And he takes a full count here with a 6-run lead in the bottom of the 8th. The pitch is on its way, and the pitch is sent into the shallow outfield, but doesn't even make it. We are here, MLB draft. We pick 30th, 2 picks in the 60s, and it rolls on from there. Here's some of the guys we have on our board, short list. Some guys that we maybe know we're not going to get, we want to keep an eye on. Some guys that we hope fall to us. We're in an interesting position where we don't have one of those top picks. We're going to be waiting a while. We're going to see a lot of our names probably come off the board. I think we have a deeper scouting profile than we have in years past. I feel like we've been very focused on hitting that first pick, like we mentioned before. So we'll see how it works here in the draft. Let's get to it. Blue Jays, Mariners, Royals on the clock, and we don't pick until 30. Let's see how everything plays out. Ken Yamakaze is the guy we want the most. Enrique Murillo, a guy on our board, he goes here to the Blue Jays, the number 1 pick. Number 2 pick to the not the White Sox. It's Adam Wise to the Mariners, a right fielder. Going third to the Royals, Monty Gunn. So 2 guys, only one guy that we really focused on. So we should be good again. Ken Yamazaki is the guy we really, really want. Nicholas Monk also in there. Roger Colon, another guy as well. Again, all these guys I would not mind taking. Hopefully we get 2 or 3 of these guys at least. Nicholas Monk goes here. Here's kind of what we had on him. Big bat against lefties from Massachusetts. We had him 3rd. Pipeline had him 17th. And they'd pick him 5th. Kru Kang, a guy I did not think was going to go here. We had him 13th on our board, 39th by Pipeline. Randall Franco is the number 1 consensus guy coming in. We didn't think as highly of him. Rangers, Casey Hordigan. The guy we started to draft, we liked, opted out. We kind of didn't like that high school arm opted out. It could be pretty good. We didn't do as much due diligence as we wanted to. Charles Bankston goes to the A's here. Still plenty of guys on our board. Ken Yamazaki, again, be our number 1 choice. Cesar Rodriguez. We had him closer to the 20s. He goes to the Yankees. Justin Bonds, third baseman. We were looking at Ryan Jordan. We liked kind of his profile over Bonds's, so we decided to scout more of Jordan. George Valentine, starter that we didn't love too much. Still could be a pretty good pitcher, but we had other pitchers ranked higher than him. James Caraballo. He's second baseman. He goes to the Giants. The White Sox, who keep taking all our guys. Don't do it here. Kendrick James, we were not very high on him, the 21-year-old. So far the board has gone in our favor. Only 2 guys on our board have gone so far. Crew King, Nicholas Monk, and then Enrique Murillo. These 2 guys, the first baseman I wasn't really thinking that we were going to get, Ryan Jordan goes. So there's Ryan Jordan going ahead of draft projections. Now it's starting to get scary. Not only are these guys that we are looking at, but these are good players going to good teams. This is where it gets interesting. Here in the first round, Lucas Yoshida, a catcher that we weren't too high on. He goes to the Marlins. Board still playing wisely in our favor. It still looks like we're looking at starting pitching first. Guy that I'm surprised hasn't gone so far, Alexander McCain, 7th on the board by both us and Pipeline. Marshall Reynolds goes here. He's the guy who's injured. I tabbed him as a guy that maybe he falls. I wonder what the injury is. Sheppy Winkler goes. He is the guy that was 65th on Pipeline. The Dodgers, I think they got themselves a steal. Tom Donnellan goes. So now it looks more and more like Ken Yamazaki. Hopefully he falls. Billy Waylock, second baseman that we were lower on, to the Angels. It's starting to get interesting. Our board's still working out in our favor. Robbie Samuels, high schooler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks before us. Billy Larson goes, another guy on our board. But this was more of a hope he falls to our second pick type guy. Cubs, Red Sox, and Cubs go Manny DaCosta. Red Sox, Diamondbacks, Twins. Boston, Todd Perez. And the pick would be Yamazaki. Brian Brock. One more pick. Need one more pick. Carmine Ramirez is the man. We are selecting Ken Yamazaki out of Japan. We had him number 2 on our board. We're also probably going to save some money with this selection as well. Okay, here is how the second round played out. No one really on our board went in that supplemental round. Alexander McCain finally goes second round to the Rangers, but pretty much for the most part, our board stayed intact. Kenneth Lemon goes here, but he was kind of lower on our board. Now we got 3 pick. Roger Cologne, a guy that I'm really interested in going out and getting. He's someone that we could use here. Again, we also have 69. Fonzo Cordero, not so much. Vinny Cole, someone we can get later. One of these shortstops probably we're going to take if they fall to our next pick here. And then we have some other guys down the board with good potential. So I am going to take Cologne here. He is a lefty, 6'5", 234 from the University of Tennessee. Can go deep in the games, limits walks, has 4+ pitches, potential for plus pitches. We're going to take starting pitcher back-to-back here. And Roger Cologne is now a member of the Rockies organization. We had him 65th on our board. We're going to pick him at 64. It will stay here as, again, we are looking at one of these shortstops with the 69th pick. Nice. Hopefully they last to us. And Andres Menendez goes here to the Brewers, so we're guaranteed at least one of these 4 guys, which I would not mind taking, not in the slightest. Fletcher Todd goes. One more pick guarantees us one of the shortstops. Between Madrigal and Salinas, I'm leaning Madrigal. As a righty, I think that speed tool is the most interesting part about him. And Julia Pena goes, so let's check it out. Madrigal projects more as a contact bat. Same with Salinas. The fielding is almost identical. Actually, Salinas having more of it, and the speed factor makes me want to go Madrigal from New York. He's 71st on our board, 98th on the board, so we have a chance of maybe Salinas there later. So we're going to take Howard Madrigal with our pick here. Again, just like the speed more. Opted out. Hopefully he is not hurt, but we like the speed a little bit more. All right, with our 105th pick, again, most of our board is still here. That shortstop has gone, and he actually got to find out where Stephen Snell's 92 to Philadelphia. All right, let's check it out. Lionel McGinnis is the guy that we were liking. Robert Banks is the guy that we're liking as well. We take Lionel McGinnis here. Gonna bet on the first baseman, a guy who we think we have maybe more upside over Banks. So let's see how the rest of the draft falls into our favor. And all the guys we still like are still here. This would be the place to take Banks if we want. We got Vinny Cole here and Tony Hackman, which we were very high on. Steven Pena and Roberto Bautista, two catchers, and then Banks and Chris DeYoung. We have two more selections between Cole and Hackman. Who would we like more? I think this is going to be the selection here. And we're going to take Vinny Cole. I think we like the upside a little bit more. Has only 3 pitches. Maybe we develop one more. But let's see. Between these 4 guys, who is going to be there? It's Banks, Hackman, and DeYoung. The 2 catchers have gone. I think we're going to pass on DeYoung. It's between Banks and Hackman. And I think I want the first baseman out of Idaho. And we're going to take Robert Banks with our last selection. I really like this draft. I'm really excited to get these guys signed and kind of check out and see how they look. Actually, we have one more round. I was even not aware we had one more round. So let's get to our pick. And Tony Hackman literally went a pick before. He would have been the pick. And with let's kind of see how the board's looking. No one there. We're going to take Chris DeYoung. And he is a Colorado Rocky. I think he has a low floor, or a higher floor, lower ceiling. So we're going to take DeYoung here with the last pick at 195. Come up to the All-Star break, and we have some All-Stars to go over. In the National League, Dustin May will be your National League starting pitcher. He's been absolutely sensational. Paul Skeens, Kyle Harrison, George Kirby, and Jesus Luzardo getting in there, having a really, really good year. 9 wins so far, which already supplants his last year, even though pitching wins don't really matter a whole too much. 3.15 ERA, a 1.38 WHIP. So weird, lowest ERA he's had on our team, but the highest WHIP. 10 quality starts already, a 1.64. One of the higher Ks per 9, but is walking a whole bunch of guys, and the FIP's weird. So it's weird. It's one of the better seasons, but also one of the worst seasons he's had here in Colorado. Yohan Don gets in there, Jose Hernandez, Yohan Duran, Brian Abreu, Zach Thompson, Evan Phillips, and Luis Patino all having incredible seasons. Our boy Sherwood Winchester. Look at my boy Sherwood. Again, one of the guys that we were targeting with our very first pick here since I took over. Just a hitter, man. 316 this year, 820 OPS last year in limited action, 995 OPS. Finally back to getting most of the innings here for the Reds and having a really, really solid year. 3.2 WAR already. One of the better players in the league, let alone position, let alone what it is. So very, very good. I love to see that from Sherwood Winchester. Kind of gives me more validation that I had him top on our board. Ethan Salas is going to be the starter. Young Keel going to be starting at first base this year. 23 home runs already, 60 RBI, looking to yet again surpass his career highs in those categories. 813 OPS, not quite hitting as well as last year. Getting on base about the same pace, slugging it just about the same pace, just that 20 difference in the average is what's killing him. 0.9 WAR again, mostly DHing for us. Matt Olson backing him up. Dale Amador having an absolutely breakout season already, basically near his home runs and RBI and doubles numbers from last year. Just absolutely incredible year. Bumped his average way up, on base way up, slugging way up, a 900 OPS. That's a 250 or a 150 OPS jump this year, and already near his season total in WAR from last year, and just having an incredible year for us. Michael Chen, first-time All-Star, one of those guys that we were looking at, and we were wondering why it took so long for him to get to the major leagues, and you're seeing that he is absolutely raking here. 14 home runs, really showing off that power which we didn't see from any level, but an incredible talent. Luis Garcia from the Nationals. Monasterio and Gabriel Arias at third base. Jordan Lawler, C.J. Abrams, and Geraldo Perdomo. Jordan Walker, Jared Kelenic, Dylan Cruz, Juan Soto, Sal Frelick, James Wood, and Fernando Tatis Jr. No Jazz Chisholm, even though we did see him in the home run derby. No All-Star game for Jazz. And Young Keel making it as one of the DHs. For the American League, Casey Mize, Taj Bradley, Patrick Sandoval, Grayson Rodriguez, Tyler Wells, Dennis Santana, Jose Alvarado, Tanner Scott, Emmanuel Clase, Abner Uribe, Alexis Diaz, and David Bednar are your pitchers. Kyle Teal, Tyler Soderstrom, and Evan Russo. Evan Russo, another one of those guys we were looking at. A tough first couple seasons in the Bronx, especially that second season, but it's really evened out as to be one of the better young players and especially young catchers in the game. Kyle Teal from the Boston Red Sox. One more year of team control, and then free agency for you, big fella. He's going to get a bag. Tristan Casas, who did get a bag from the Athletics, is your early MVP favorite. He is an absolute stud. Vladdy Jr. here with the dreads cut off here in 2029 for Toronto. Jace Young, Nico Horner, Noel V. Marte, Brendan Donovan, Jackson Holliday, Brooks Lee, Carlos Correa, and Zach Neto, all in shortstops. Wyatt Langford, Emmanuel Rodriguez, Ryan Mountcastle in left field, Julio Rodriguez, Walker Jenkins, and Riley Green in center field. Riley Green also having an incredible year. And Chase DeLauder in right, with Marte, Langford, Correa, and Donovan all getting DH at bats. Now let's hop into the All-Star game itself. Derby time, as we actually have two Colorado Rockies making the home run derby after no derby participants on our end the entire first 5 seasons. In season 6, year 6 of my 10 years GM of the Rockies, we have two, Yanquiel Fernandez and Jazz Chisholm, and also they're on opposite sides of the bracket. So the All-Star festivities taking place in, what is this, not American Family Field, not the not Miller Park no more, so that's fun. And Yanquiel Fernandez hitting absolute tanks, going towards the car. He went out there a few different times, but super fun to have the Rockies on the grand stage, really showing out for everybody. It's very fun to just get this little publicity. I mean, we're a really good team. We won the World Series. We're finally starting to get recognition for how good our players have been. And these are two guys who are in the top 8 of the home run standings between both leagues, so they got the invite to come over and come do this. So that is super dope for me. So really strong performance by Yanquiel Fernandez. He moves on to the second round. Now we're seeing what Jazz Chisholm has to do, and the guy that's really revitalized our team and one of the best free agent signings, I think, in the history of our franchise. And he had 20 home runs in that round. So he beats Jace Young, and those two end up meeting in the finals. So we're going to have a Colorado Rockies for sure be in the winner tonight. Yanquiel Fernandez saved his best for last, 22 in the final round, which I think his first round he had 23. But he had an absolute fantastic showing here in the championship round. And is Jazz going to take it to him? Needs 23 to win. He has 21 right here. Time expired. This one is getting out to tie it. And with the bonus time, just needs one swing of the bat. This one's high. This one's deep. Back. Gone off of the batter's eye in center field. And Jazz Chisholm, little friendly rivalry here between him and Yanquiel. They hug it out. And Jazz Chisholm, you like Jazz. Little cores for you. Look at that. Dale Amador. You see him, little sneak preview, or we actually went over the all-stars that we have on our team. We had a couple, and Jazz Chisholm, your home run derby champion in 2029. And now we're back to the All-Star game itself. Again, we had a few All-Stars, Young Keel and Amador, both starters in this game, as Fernandez is going to ground out, move the runner-up. And my boy Jesus Luzardo also in the game as well. So a few representatives this year. I think it's definitely the most we've had in 1 year in my tenure with the Rockies. Amador 0-1 count against Grayson Rodriguez. He goes right back up the middle, and that's his first All-Star hit for Mr. Adele Amador. Actually, I don't know. I think Amador's made it before. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know Fernandez has. Maybe he hasn't. I don't know. I feel like one of them has made the game before. So maybe it wasn't his first hit. Who knows? You know, you do this job for so long, you start drinking, you forget. Anyway, here's Luzardo's inning. He had the fourth inning. Jordan Walker's there to make the catch off of Chase DeLauder. And then Tyler Soderstrom, the big hitting catcher from Oakland. He's going to go into the gap. Dylan Cruz out there to range it in off of the wall. And sending into C.J. Abrams, now the Los Angeles Doger. And Jace Young is going to be watching. So a strikeout for Luzardo. A pretty good inning for him. And that's going to be it for Jesus Luzardo. A clean fourth. Taj Bradley will step right on up for Young Keel Fernandez. See what he does here. Again, the loser in the home run derby, but that's all right by me because the Rocky did win, and he's going to be late on the fastball, but he's going to chop it past the third baseman anyway, and a double for Young Keel Fernandez. And I love to see, again, our guys, and these are two homegrown dudes that international free agents that we have signed, and we have developed and have become all-stars. I love to see that. Young Keel up the middle. This one will get through, and that will be a single, so a two-hit day for Young Keel Fernandez. You love to see it. National League still behind. Dale Amador just 1 for 2. Has a chance to tie this game up, but he's going to get jammed on the cutter inside and keep both runners at second and third. And that's it. So that's the All-Star game for you. Here is a moment post-All-Star game. Roger Calderon, with his ups and downs, still one of the top save getters in all of the National League. He gets Torkelson to strike out for the first out of the inning. Anthony Santander, bank is closed, my good sir. He swings out over the top of that one, trying for another strikeout. Marco Luciano, 0-0 count. His first pitch swinging into right field. Nolan Jones is there. And pick up another game in July. Obviously, you know how competitive this month is. We need every single win we can get. Pick one up right here against the Giants. After the All-Star break, here's what we look like standings-wise. We have fallen off a little bit. If you look at our month, we had a very poor finish to the break. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 losses, just 5 wins in our 15 games since. Very pivotal stretch here. We got the Red Sox, who aren't too terrible, the Giants, who aren't too great, and the Angels, who aren't too great. So we can get kind of back to 500. That'd be great. But here's what we look like standings-wise. We've fallen out of the NL West lead to the Padres, who are killing it. And we're tied with the Diamondbacks right now in our own division. And the Brewers are ahead of us. And the Reds are right there. So this is your 4-team race right now in the wild card. We're going to look to make a move. We have won 4 straight, but had lost 6 straight previous to that. In the American League, here's how the wild card's looking. Guardians, Athletics, and Royals all there. Mariners and Rangers right there as well, with the Orioles on the outside looking in. Division races, the West is close. Central isn't too particularly close. The East is close. For the National League, obviously the West is going to be a bloodbath. The Central, the Pirates are still holding on to a decent lead. but the Brewers aren't too terribly far behind, and the National League East is looking more like the Phillies division. So let's see how the rest of the month plays out. We cannot afford to be losing a whole bunch of games. We really need to lock in. Red Sox come to town, and it's Garrett Crochet on the mound. Jazz Chisholm 1 for 3 today. Crochet, a guy that has been awesome with the Red Sox. He misses high and outside for a ball. It's a guy that in the back end of a bullpen can really revamp any team that's looking to go get him. The Red Sox have not had the best of seasons. So a guy that even we might look to go out and get. Who knows? Chisholm loves the moment like this. The rock-offs trying to connect on one here. 2 outs for the Red Sox catcher. Chisholm swings through that one. Crochet, the pitch. Jazz on the ground. Over to second for 1. Back to first. And double play. So the Red Sox, they shut the door. We pick up a loss against a not-so-great team. Don't want that happening right now. All right, the first big trade we were making, maybe the only big trade we were making, we were receiving Garrett Crochet from the Boston Red Sox. So far this year, 22 saves, 4.54 ERA, expiring contract. He's lefting the bullpen we want. We're giving up Alex Hardesty. I think the experiment's over. He's going to go to Boston. Maybe actually gets a chance to play in Boston as they are out of the race, basically. We're also picking up Dominic Knox, a reliever, just depth reliever for us. I was trying to look at bats they had against lefties. Like I wanted a lefty bench bat. They didn't really have anything intriguing, but I really need Crochet. I really need this bullpen to get fixed up. We're on a nice little winning streak. We've climbed back into the top of the NL West. I want to stay there. Garrett Crochet, welcome to Colorado. We have another trade. This time it was proposed to me. Andre Palante from the Cardinals is going to come over so far this year. 4.60 ERA. Only 2 home runs given up. 22 saves. Another bullpen guy. We're giving away Braylon Wimmer. He is a depth shortstop. Really not really going to make our team at any time soon. So we're going to give him up to the Cardinals. We need help at shortstop behind Mason Wynn. Just as a depth guy too. So I think a pretty good swap for us. After making those moves, here we are at the end of the month, and we're taking on the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Jake Bauers swings through that one, and Calderon trying to shut the door. Up the middle, Amador fields it, throws a cross body, and that will secure the win for the Rockies. So we got into the end of a couple games this month. We did fairly well, I think, for the most part. Hopefully this helps us after this deadline. We're at the end of the month, and we're in a very, very, very good spot. We're half a game behind the Padres, who we will be playing here in August. I just came off a 15-3 win against the Angels. Like I said, I wanted to kind of flip the script from the first half of the month, and we did. We swept the Giants, got 2 against the Red Sox, so that is 5 out of 6 wins right there. Split with the Giants again, so that is what? I said 5 out of 6. That's 7 out of 9. So that's 7-2 record. And then we took 2 out of 3 against, or 2 against the Angels here. So we'll call it even 9 wins, 8 wins here to end the month and finish this month out on a high note. We did make the one trade, or those 2 trades, but that was really all we have. So right now, here is what our team is looking like. Pitching-wise, Bobby White, Bud Leonard, and Jesus Luzardo all on fire when we need them. J.J. Rose and James Moore have been a little disappointing. We sent Rafael Parra down back to AAA. Brennan Barrera is in AAA now after the 2 moves we made to acquire our relief pitchers. Garrett Crochet, Gregory Santos doing well, Bo Brisky. Again, the bullpen has been pretty solid. We add Palante in there. We add Crochet in there. Just to an overall fantastic squad. Calderon, we've kind of let go. I was thinking about making a switch at closer, but just like last year's kind of evened back out. We're just going to let him go until anything dangerous happens. We have Crochet. We have Santos. We have Palante, who will have closing experience, and I wouldn't mind Mo Brisky's having a phenomenal year go out there as well. Catchers, here's actually we're going to make a move. Mark Winchester. The reason why I did not make a change to the or get a trade to bring someone up is because Mark Winchester is exactly the bat we need. Great against lefties, great with guys on base. We're going to add him to the squad. Ralphie Velasquez will move down. We did have an injury to Juan Guerrero, so that's going to move Osiris Johnson up to the major league level yet again, just a utility guy. Stephen Kwan on the shelf for about another couple of days, so we have Heriberto Hernandez up here. But checking out on our players, Drew Romo doing well, exactly what we want from him. Ralphie Velasquez probably going to get moved down in the next couple of days for Winchester. Fernandez, fine. Tommy Domine starting to turn it around a little bit. This is exactly what you'd like to see. OPS still, I would like it in the 700s plus 800s for him, but hasn't been terrible. Again, providing good defense at first base. Dale Amador, the price just keeps going up for him. Obviously, Osiris Johnson up now, and Juan Guerrero. He is our super utility guy. Banged up a bit right now. Nolan Gorman starting to heat up a little bit. We've actually moved him to the leadoff spot in the meantime with what's-his-face gone. But not having the MVP season that he had last year, which is unfortunate. But hopefully he turns things around. Sterling Thompson doing good now. Started off slow, starting to pick things back up. Ezekiel Tovar, again, missed the first 2 months of the season. His bat's coming along nicely. Jazz Chisholm doing well, but he's starting to slow down. This is kind of what we've seen from Jazz in the last few years. Starts off extremely hot, kind of cools off, still has an incredible season. Kwan not hitting 360 like he was before, but doing exactly what we want from him. Already passed his home run total from last year. He can just get those doubles, keep going, and the slash line looking nice. Benny Montgomery filling in for him. And Nolan Jones, back to the Nolan Jones. We remember an 870 plus OPS guy, still looking for 900s for the first time since that third season since I've been here. But yeah, that will be it. So that will do it here. Quick look at the standings. Half a game back of the Padres. Tied for the first wild card spot. It's getting real as we head to the month of August. So we'll see you soon.